We back, we back, we back. Shout out to my Cardinals. Shout out to Flight Life. You already know. Shout out to my brother Mars, man. Shout out to Mars for sure. Um, we back. 100 Simple Life Truths. This is episode 67. I am your host. You are there. You are abundant. You are great. You are amazing. You are learning. You are growing. I speak that into your life. I speak that onto my life, right? Abundance, growth, prosperity. Uh, yeah, I had took 2 days off. I had took 2 days off because I just felt like it. Um, I've been at work, right? But work doesn't stop me from recording or anything like that. I literally just came home and didn't feel like recording, right? And I'm ahead of the game, so I just said, you know what? The first day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take a day off. I'm not gonna record today. But I did drop a couple shorts, and then the second day the same thing happened. So I told myself I'm never gonna go 3 days in a row without recording. So this is I took 2 days off, right? So I'm here. I'm back. Um Episode 67, 100 Simple Life Truths is titled How Do Others See You? I hope others see me as great, as abundant, as joyful, as love, as life, right? Because that's how I like to see other people, right? I don't like to judge people, or I see people in their best, in their best, right? I don't know what this is gonna be talking about because obviously I didn't read it yet, but me personally, I like to see people at their best. Sidebar, shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the people that's been watching, been tuning in, checking in. Start leaving some comments, man. Comment down below. Share this with your friends and family. Comment down below on a topic you want me to talk about. Because after these 100 episodes, somebody just ring my bell. After these 100 episodes, I'm not answering it. After these 100 episodes, yeah, I'm gonna move on to something different. I think I'm gonna get back into my photography bag. I'm gonna get back into a lot of different things. So yeah, somebody just ring my bell, and I don't feel like going downstairs to check who it is. You know what? I should, but I'm not. It's my house, right? I don't feel like going downstairs. And usually people call me or text me before they let me know they come into my house. Anyway, it is September 21st. It is 1:01 p.m. 1:01 p.m. Somebody rang my door at 1 o'clock on the dot. We're going to get right into this. How do others see you, right? Episode 67, 100 Simple Life Truths. Matter of fact, since I ain't said it in a while, I'm going to get straight to the quote. Get to the quote first, right? It says, Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. You know, I stumbled upon something on Instagram, and it's weird because I have a weird relationship with Instagram where I want to get off of Instagram, but I can't get off of Instagram, right? But I stumbled upon something, and it triggered me a little bit. It triggered me a little bit. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but it resonated with some of the things that I'm going through in life right now, right? Some of the trials and tribulations. And it also gave me motivation at the same time. It gave me motivation at the same time to seek some of the things that I've been standoffish about, to say the least, right? And yeah, I just felt compelled to say that just now. I just felt compelled to say that. And yeah, I'm gonna get into it. It starts off as this. Do you think if you walked into a room with 10 people in it, they'd all see the same thing? No, absolutely not. I was talking to one of my coworkers today, right? One of my fellow managers. And she was like, "Yeah, when I first met you, I thought you was stuck up." And I was like, "Okay, what you think about me now?" And she was like, "Nah, you cool as shit." And I was like, "All right, cool." And I just walked off. Like, it's crazy because a lot of people at my job feel like I move a certain way where I feel like I'm better than people, which is not true. It's not true. If you know me, I'm the first to put myself last, right? And say and give grace to other people, because other people are way more abundant, doing way better than me. And I look at everybody as motivation. You know what I mean? I said it in the last episode. I could find motivation out of anybody. Anybody can motivate me to either do better than what they're doing, or do what, like, something along the lines of what they're doing, right? So he goes on to say, there's a lot of sidebars in here. I hope this episode don't end up being too long, but since I didn't record in a couple days, I kind of got a lot to get off my chest. But he goes on to say, if you told them a story, would they interpret and understand that story the same way? Nah. You know what it is too? We're not gonna tell. Well, if it's a group of people, obviously they're all gonna hear it one way. But if you tell each person a story separately, it's gonna come off differently for each person. So as a manager at my job, I tell all the people under me, I tell them certain things, right? But I tell them one by one, just so, because I have to adapt the way that they learn or the way that they take instruction. You have to adapt to them so that they understand it 100% to the best of their ability. And if I'm telling them all the same thing the same way, they're all going to interpret it differently. So I have to change. I have to change the things that I'm telling them based on the person that I'm telling it to, right? Um, he goes on to say, though we don't know for sure, I think most will agree the answer is no. Everyone is made up of their genetics and experiences, and how they react to their surrounding is as unique as their fingerprints. Correct. Correct. I said, and just like I said, we could have the same goal, but everybody's path is differently. Everybody sees life differently. Everybody reacts to everything differently. You know what I mean? We could be going through the exact same thing, watch the same exact movie, read the same exact book, see the same show, eat the same exact food, and have different opinions on every last one of them, right? And we can agree on a grand scale, but the minute details of it is will be different, right? So me and you could both agree that the Man of Steel movie is good, but you may think it's like great and have one little tweak to make it the best movie ever, and I might think that it's good and it will never be the best movie ever, but it's good. You know what I mean? So us both saying the movie is good, we can have different interpretations of it. He goes on to say, not everyone enjoys my company. Not everyone has the attention span or interest to make it into this third paragraph. Not everyone who reads this whole chapter will agree with it, let alone enjoy it. None of that is my concern. I made peace with the idea that I can't win them all. So I just focus on doing what I enjoy and hoping like spirited folks discover the vibe and vibe with it. And that's exactly how I feel about this channel, right? If you stumble upon, I can share this, I can share it as many times to everybody, my friends, even friends and family. You know what I mean? The ones that you would expect to support you, right? Um, Friends, family, like people I just know on social media, like just people in passing, whatever the case may be, right? But I see it as great content. I see it as something that's perfectly, but it is built for me, right? It's built, like I said in numerous episodes, when I started this, it wasn't for an audience. It was literally just for me, right? So I can't sit here and expect people to watch it because it's something that is geared towards me. And if you don't agree with me, then you're not gonna find this entertaining or helpful to your life, right? So I have I have no expectations in terms of like views and like subscribers and stuff like that, but I'm doing the best I can, and hopefully, like he said, hopefully I find like-minded people will come and watch the episodes and interact with the episodes, and learn the same way that I learn, or be interested in the same things I'm interested, so they can learn, or even on the same journey. You know what I mean? My path onto the journey is creating these videos, but someone else's path may be watching the videos. You get what I'm saying? So he goes on to say, life is too short to try to make believers out of doubters. Facts. That's why, like, I've literally I've only shared my first video directly to people. and whatever they did with it after that is on them. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and force people to watch it, right? Hopefully they will, and they'll, agree with the things I'm saying, or if they disagree, I'm not one to live in an echo chamber, right? I want people around me that don't agree, because when you around people that disagree with you and you're in an echo chamber, you can't grow. You got to have people that, with love, correct you, or not necessarily correct you, with love, have difference of opinions, right? And you guys can talk about those difference of opinions without losing the love. You know what I mean? Allowing, he says, allowing them to see me the way they see me, and just being happy they're taking the time to check out the work and pay attention. Facts. Like, see me however you see me, and I just appreciate the people coming to and taking the time out to see what I'm doing or learn. You know what I mean? Because it's not about me. It's about the message. For me, it's more about my message than me as a person. Because you can think I'm a horrible person, but if you agree with the things that I'm saying in these videos, then you agree. You know what I mean? But I'm not a horrible person. He goes on to say, if people don't feel your vibe, that's okay. People pleasing is a tiresome and pointless task. Agreed. I agree. That time can be spent on more productive activities. 100%. 100%. There's so much that well, for me personally, there's so much stuff that I've signed myself up to mentally in my head to get done, that's altering myself so that others are happy, is just it's not written in my calendar nowhere. So I'm just not gonna do it, right? I stick to my calendar as much as I can, my schedule as much as I can, and I just didn't make space for people pleasing, right? And it's crazy because a lot of people, I've noticed in my life, a lot of people try to people please towards me. They want me to be happy with them, but it's like, I don't I don't really care too much about what everybody else is doing to like sit here and be like, oh, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, don't get me wrong, but when I see people and I acknowledge people and I actually see people and I see they're doing good, or I see they have good intentions, like I give compliments all the time, right? But I'm not, you changing your ways or whatever the case may be just for me, and I can tell that you're doing it just for me, because we can always tell. It's not something that I pay attention to. He goes on to say, it feels good to be validated, accepted, and even celebrated, but success is a lousy teacher. Correct. Gotta take them losses. Remember, leave room for losses, right? Leave room for losses, leave grace for losses, leave understanding for losses, right? All of those things come with losses. You're not gonna It's nothing to look back on when you won, you know what I mean? There's nothing to reflect on when you winning. After a loss, you go back to the drawing board and you rewatch those tapes and see, okay, what did I do wrong? And then you learn from that. You can have you could have had a bad game, like a horrible, horrible game, right? But if you won by 1 point, the likelihood of you going back and watching that tape is little than if you would have lost by that 1 point, right? Because you won, you're going to celebrate now. The losers got to go home with their head down and get straight back to work, into watching them tapes and seeing which one step caused them that 1 point. He says, "Don't dismiss folks who aren't feeling me. I don't dismiss folks who aren't feeling me, because some of them may have valuable jewels to help me improve." Correct. I agree. Discovering those jewels require me to both take the time to listen to what they have to say and evaluate that feedback with the priorities I have on my journey. In my journey, if it helps me on my way, expect a long distance thank you hug. I get what he's saying. He's saying pretty much what I said. Like, you can learn from anybody, right? And if you don't necessarily agree with the person, and you still take a gem, a jewel, what he says, a jewel from them and you learn from them, he's gonna thank you from a distance, though. You know what I mean? Because we don't really. Basically, he's gonna say he's gonna appreciate you and thank you, but silently from a distance, whatever. So, say me and my enemy, which I don't have enemies, right? It's hypothetical. Say me and my enemy. Say I have an enemy, but I learned something from the enemy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that lesson, apply it to my life in the future, and I'm gonna thank that enemy, but not verbally, not physically, basically. It's 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. as I type this. So I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of no matter how juicy the peach is, there'll always be a person who doesn't like peaches. That's correct. 100% correct. Correct. Not everyone likes hip hop, not everyone likes reading long books, and not everyone likes beards. Oh. That's a reality I hold near and have found peace in. Correct. You're just not gonna be it for everybody, and cool. One less. Not saying that you're worried, but one less person to worry about. One less person to have to adapt to. You know what I mean? If you already know that you're not a certain person's cup of tea, cool. That's perfectly fine. Even if you actually like that person is your cup of tea, somebody that you do see like a friendship with or whatever the case may be, but they just don't rock with you that way, it's perfectly fine. That's just what life is, you know what I mean? Everybody, it's hard to find people that are genuine and agree with you, or just be honest with you, and don't really agree with you, your lifestyle, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that they don't like about you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just push it to the side. Keep it pushing. It doesn't matter. He goes on to say, I hope in your journey you know what's important is you and realize the approval of others is never more important than the approval of yourself. Correct. You have to be your own best friend. You have to be the love of your life. You have to love yourself. You have to understand yourself, appreciate yourself, and go forth in self-love, self-worth, self-care, right? Before you allow anybody else to add on to you, right? Because if they're once they add it to you, you have to know at some point, and it's not negative mindset, at some point there's a possibility that they will subtract from you. And you have to understand how much you're willing to give them to take of you with them. So if you're at 100, right, you're completely happy, you're good, and someone adds to you, say they add, now you're at like 110, right? When they take away from you, they're only taking back that 10%. They're only taking back that 10% technically, right? But if you're at like 50 and you're not really too sure about yourself, and then you meet somebody and they add 10 to you, right? They add 10 to you. When they leave, they're taking more than 10, because that 10 that they added to you is just going to keep going up, going up, going up, going up. So when they leave, you're going to be worse off than when you met them. So this is why you need to understand, love yourself, approve of yourself 100%, and be at 100 before you let anybody into your life. That's how I feel. Y'all don't have to agree, and that's part of what this episode is about. Like you don't have to agree. You could tell me what you don't agree on in the comments. You could tell me what you do agree on in the comments. You could tell me if you know what your perspective is on like the topic. Do you care how others see you? Do you change the way you are based on how others see you? Do you know what I mean? How are you with other people's opinions of you, basically? And with that, bro, I keep yawning. I'm tired, man. I just got off of work. I am exhausted. They be burning me out. I'm exhausted. With that is episode 67, 100 Simple Life Truths. I am here. You are there. You are abundant. You are love. You are joy. I am maybe not gonna record episode 68 today. I am. You know how I get. I like to have a certain amount dropped for like a week or whatever. But I'm well ahead of the game. I was supposed to drop 100 episodes for the year. It's only September 21st, and I only have 33 left. 30, yeah, like 33 left. It's a cakewalk. It's less than a month worth of work. I could record three. I could record up to 5 a day. So I'm gonna let y'all rock out. I'm gonna let y'all catch up. Be easy. Um, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, man. All the things the YouTubers say.